There's going to be a slight delay while I try and pull up my live stream. Because last time there was a whole delay. Okay. And then it counted down, and then I started when it it said go. But apparently I was on live for a whole 2 hours. So, good day. Now, this might just be my last live for the Book of Lilith, because I kept having this nagging thought, this recurring thought about the devil. And I'm like, we give the devil too much credit. Glorify the devil, we praise the devil, and we give the devil too much credit. And then we put the devil high up. Well, what is it? Every new level, there's a new devil. Why are we worrying about the devil? If you're at a new level, then the devil should be beneath you at that point. Don't you think? The devil has no power. He has to get permission from God. And he does whatever you tell him to do. Your wish is he gives you what you desire. What you desire, what you want. Your temptations. And the devil's not going to tempt you with what's not going to tempt you. The devil's not going to tempt you with broccoli, vegetables, if you hate vegetables. But if you have a porn addiction, oh, that's easy. The devil knows. The devil knows how to treat you. He knows what's your fancy. He knows what your vice is, and he gives you what you want. But once you change your perspective, what can the devil tempt you with? Once you level up, not just financially, materialistically, when you level up on a material level, but when you level up on a spiritual, mental, and emotional level, the devil has no power over you. We give the devil too much credit. You need permission, you do as I tell you. You basically fulfill the role that God had for you in the first place. You're basically still working for God. You're just arrogant. You think you're equal, you can be equal to God. You're arrogant. I was just thinking we give the devil too much credit. We give the devil too much credit. The devil don't have no power. The devil only has power because you gave the devil power. The devil can't kill you. Can't make you do anything. The devil can just place something in your viewpoint, in your vicinity, and the devil can only put you in an environment where you're tempting, where you tempt yourself. There was a movie or a show, and it was a cage, and there was rope in the cage, rope and a gun or something like that. And this person could have thought, oh, I can't get out of her, I might as well just end it all. There's two options. I can either hang myself or take myself out. Or I could use the rope to get out of her. I could use the rope to climb down. I could use the gun to shoot the lock. I could use the very tools that the devil thought that I was going to end myself to escape, to free myself. But your perspective, you gave up on yourself. You gave up on yourself, and you used the very tools that could have been used to free yourself, to ruin yourself, to destroy yourself. You self-destructed, and you had the power to elevate, to transcend, ascend, or free yourself. You're the one who has the power over the devil. You're the one who can command the devil. I think we give the devil too much credit. And then it's like, oh, the devil made me do it. And then, oh, the devil, like something goes wrong in your life. Oh, the devil, da, 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 da. The devil's job is to test your faith. The devil is employed by God. And the devil has to play by God's rules. The devil is destined to fail for all eternity. Because how you think you're gonna win against God? God sets the rules, sets the pace. He has to give you permission. And it's omnipotent, omnipresent, omniscient. And you don't have that power. You don't know God's master plan. All you're doing is revealing the ones who have no faith. Thank you. This is an exclusive club. We don't need them here. We don't need them here. They gave up too easy, the weak. It's beyond me. It is beyond me. Why people think godly people are weak? You know what they had to be put through? Tests, trials, and tribulations. It's not easy to be God's child. There's too many fakers. There's too many people out here claiming to be a child of God. But then God has to send the devil on the path and to test that out. To test out that theory real quick. Let's see how strong your faith is. If you have a pure soul, the devil has no power over you. If you have strong will, pure soul, the devil has no power over you. Strong faith. What can the devil do? What can the devil do to you when you have strong faith, a pure soul, and strong will? You're determined, devoted, and not just optimistic but realistic. When you put your mind, when you align yourself with God, and you make plans according to the purpose that God has for you, and you stay on the straight path, the straight and narrow. It's narrow because not many go down that road, not many choose that road. And I think that was the devil's curse. I think the devil's curse was to always be a a doormat for mankind. Whatever standing on their heels mean, to always be a doormat to mankind. He lost his privileges when he went against God. When you align your thinking with God's purpose, the purpose that God has for you, success is what's fated. You're destined to succeed, and depending on what that looks like to you. Now we're turning a new page, a new chapter, probably a new book. I'm stepping out of this energy, not Lilith's energy, because you have to integrate the dark and the light. You know, Mother Nature, sometimes she's cloudy, sometimes she's sunny, sometimes she's rainy, sometimes there's a house storm outside. She's all things. Beautiful. Chaos is beautiful. The Mother Earth has to purge. You know, all them weak fruit they had to go, and the strong fruit were left behind after the storm. But you gotta give the devil. You gotta. Okay. You're willing to fight for all eternity. Even if you're destined to lose, I guess that's commendable. Well done. Well done. Give credit where it's due. Okay, you got them. You definitely tricked it. You fooled them. You fooled fools. You fooled fools. I can give you that one. You almost got me. you, you almost had me. You almost had me in a chokehold. But how many times you gotta fold? How many times you gotta fold until you learn your lesson? How many times you gotta fail until you learn your lesson? The same lesson? No, that's when you know it's you. That's when you know it's you. The same lesson. You can't give somebody the flowers if they've been in high school for 20 years. You come back as a teacher and that same student that you started school with is still there. And they're her boasting, y'all, I've been in school for about 20 years. You've been in the same school for about 20 years. School already takes up 20 years of your life if you don't stay back. It's you can't be braggadocious when you're still learning the same lessons and still failing. It's just something that's been on my mind and heart. I feel like it's something that had to be said. Give the devil too much credit. Look at the work that God's doing through him. Look at the work that God is doing through him. Through us all. God is in everything. God says jump, devil says how hard. That's how that works. The devil has no power, no will, no control of his own. Yet he still has to move in the grace of God, move in the will of God. If God wills it, then the devil could do as he pleases. If God doesn't, you best stand on, Shaitan. You best stand on. So, that's why you gotta stay prayed up. That's why you gotta purge on all planes of existence. Physically, you gotta make sure you detox, purge, cleanse, and make sure you're eating in sustenance that replenish what you lose in that cleanse, because you're gonna lose a lot of fluids and a lot of waste. So you gotta make sure you're replenishing yourself with healthy foods. Don't go back to the thing that you're detoxing from, detoxifying yourself, getting rid of all the toxins from your body, to then take in more toxins. Why do that? Take in tonics. Detox, take in tonics. Replenish yourself. Cleanse your palate so you're not craving. You know, I think it's like rich therapy. You can do it with healthy foods. Literally just go in the section, the organic section. Look at, if it's priced for you, look at the price, write it down, see if you can afford it. If it's priced for you, eat healthy on a budget. It's possible they have these ready-made salads, oatmeals, affordable. It's possible to eat healthy. You can have your own garden. It's possible to eat healthy. Find a way. Find a way. You find a way to travel 2 hours to get into the strip club, or find a weed man at 2 in the morning when your one is out of town, or what. You find a way. When you find a way to do certain things when it's at the deficit of others, or you, so you can transmute things. It takes time. It takes identifying where you need help. You may have to ask a few people, you know, people that you trust the word, they're typically honest. Even if it's brutally honest, get your feelings hurt. Allow yourself to get your feelings hurt, because that's how change happens. That's where change happens. Allow yourself to get your feelings hurt. Some people are too fragile, too frail. Somebody told you the truth and you're running away from it, and then you indulge in self-sabotage because you don't want to listen and have the nerve to be in your 40s. You haven't allowed anybody to tell you the truth. So what, people around you just coddling your feelings, babyfying you, spoon feeding you, dancing around the truth, walking on eggshells to spur your feelings because you can't handle the truth. Now look, maybe you need to mature in that area. Maybe you need to mature in the area of hearing the truth about yourself, so that you can grow. Accept that that's what you do. That's who you. And when you hear it, actually look at yourself. When you're high, I don't know if you, it may take practice. It may take practice to do things with awareness. Smoke consciously. Eat consciously. Drive consciously. Sometimes our brain goes on autopilot and we don't even remember how our food tastes. We don't remember the drive to work, because we're living on autopilot. because we're living on autopilot. And when you live on autopilot, it's so easy to be idle-minded. It's so easy to be idle-minded. An idle mind is the devil's workshop. If your mind's on autopilot, you don't want to think. The devil says go this way. You're like, okay, God's talking to you, and that might give you a headache. You have to exercise that muscle. You have to exercise that spiritual, mental muscle. When you're always learning, let's say summer brain. Summer brain is when you don't learn for a long period of time, typically a few months. And then when you get to school, you can't think because you haven't worked out that muscle. Or you don't want to think because you haven't worked out that muscle. Now, when I was growing up, I didn't really get summer brain because my mama had me doing scholastic books all summer. If I wasn't doing anything, if I wasn't in camp or anything, I'm still reading, still working, still doing schoolwork at home. I didn't get summer brain. Sometimes when you learn new information, you get a headache because your brain is creating new foods. And when you're always lifting, when you're always exercising that muscle, learning isn't a struggle. It's not frustrating. It's actually satisfying. You get stimulated. And when you work out this part of your body, when you strengthen this part of your body, then you're more in tune with God, because God's more up here, the devil's more downstairs. So when you don't want to listen to God, you might have to strengthen that muscle. When you're too easily swayed by the devil, you need to starve that. You need to starve that side. You need to starve that impulse. It takes time. It takes being aware. It takes being conscious. It takes identifying your own actions. Being an observer of yourself. I like this exercise where you step out of your body and you allow yourself to be the observer of self. I'm gonna modernize it just a bit. Let's close our eyes and slow down your breath. Slow down your breathing. Inhale, exhale. Do that until you have slowed down your breath. If you're an ear hustler, you might have to slow down, take a seat, stand, be still for a moment. Now imagine yourself as you are currently, standing, sitting, or laying down. Imagine that you're looking at yourself, looking down at yourself. And you are the controller. You are the master controller. You control your words, your breath, or your breath is on autopilot. You control what you say and what you do. Now come back into your body. Breathe out. Now let's step outside of ourselves. And let's imagine the neighborhood that we're in. We're going to go a little further out. We're going to zoom out. We're not just viewing ourselves, but we're viewing our environment. Doesn't matter where you live, we're not judging ourselves. We are simply observing our space. Breathe in. Breathe out. Do you hear the people talking in the distance? Do you hear the tree frogs, crickets, traffic, the wind, rain? Person walking down the street. Anybody living in your house? Maybe somebody just opened up the fridge. Any horns honking in the distance? Breathe in. Breathe out. Now come back to yourself. Return back to your body. Your buddy. Breathe in. Breathe out. Now I want you to go a little bit further. View the city, the country, the continent that you're in. And I want you to point out where you are on that map. Small, right? Let's stay there for a while. Breathe in. Breathe out. And revisit yourself. Breathe in. Breathe out. Acknowledge how you feel. Your arms, your fingers, your shoulders, your neck, your head, your breath, your torso, your legs, your toes. Are you eating anything? Allow it to sit on your tongue for a while. Be present with yourself. Breathe in. Are your shoulders tense? Or are they relaxed? Are you clenching your jaw? Or are they relaxed? Are you thinking too much? Or are your thoughts clear and sound? Does your back hurt? You need to get that checked out. You need to go to your doctor, your physician. Do you keep putting certain things off? How's your lungs? Are they mucus filled or are they clear? Have you drank water today? Did you pray today? Now let's zoom out and look at the earth. And pinpoint yourself on that globe. Small, right? Let's zoom out a little further and look at the galaxy, look at the void, look at the empty space, the sun at the distance, and everything so small. Now return back to yourself. This is an exercise to put you in the state of the observer. To change and shift your point of view of yourself. don't just occupy this body. You can travel outwards and view life on a universal level. You know, let's zoom back out into to the world where you see the world as a whole. There's things going on in the east, west, in every part of the world. There's something going on, and then there's you. What role do you want to play in the world as a whole? How do you want to be involved, or how do you want to be included in the collective? How do you want to aid? How do you want to be? What can you do right now that will allow you to be an asset in this world in the long run? What work can you do on yourself right now that will allow you to develop yourself and cultivate yourself into an asset, so you can be an asset to the world as a whole, or to be an asset to yourself, or an asset to your kids, or an asset to your family, or asset to your parents, or just an asset to yourself. You could just start with self, because everything starts at home. Charity starts at home. You can't give if you don't have anything to give. That's energy, material, resources, networking. Sometimes you can connect people that are a benefit of one another. You know, get to a point where you watch what you say. If you give advice to people, do you live that advice? There are people who give advice, but they don't represent what they say. They've heard somebody say it and they repeat it, but they don't live it. Be very watchful of who you listen to. Observe your surroundings, observe your environment. Don't be so quick to judge. Take your time and assess your environment, because you could be overlooking what's right in front of you. Give yourself time. You know, what's the point of taking the scenic road if you're going to speed? Now, like I said, I'm turning the page. Probably a new chapter or a new book. The Book of Key. Because my nickname's Key. My family calls me Kiki. My nieces and nephew call me Aunt Kiki. But my dad calls me Key. So it might be the Book of Key with a Q. Not K-I, but Kiki. Because that's how my name is spelled. It's spelled with a Q in it. And I was wondering how I was going to do it. You know, should I? It's getting dark. Should I take you guys with me? With certain things. Now, some things I'm not too sure about, because those things have to be kept private in my mind. Those things have to be kept private. Some things are very sacred, and I'd like to keep things sacred. Some things I'm willing to share. You know, I just got a lot of, in the spiritual community, they call them downloads. I got a lot of visions of what to do next. And this was one. This lot was one of them things that I couldn't shake. You know, I don't really outsource my ideas. Everything is through me. I am my own inspiration. I do get inspired by other people, you know, but I don't really outsource my ideas. Not my thoughts aren't really outside of myself. I don't really. They're not external. Like the purpose, the reasons, my motivations aren't external. They're all I'm self motivated. I inspire myself, or I'm inspired by God. Certain things just come to me. Certain things just come to me, and if I do, it the other way, it will be like little clips, unless I go live, because I don't have the time to be editing. That's why I go live more often these days. It's just easier to go live, and then when I have the time, um, record the live and then edit that. So I can go that route. Go live, maybe take you with me when I go to physio, maybe. Probably into the building. You the live will probably end in the elevator. you know. You may not see much unless I could take you shopping, because I'm getting some exercise equipment, or I'm gonna set up my porch. It's like a porch, because how it's set up, if I do fitness out here, I might cut up my feet, or it might just be uncomfortable. And I like jumping rope. I like jump rope. I like doing yeah. How you say that in a sentence? I like jump rope. I like jumping rope. Skipping. I know there's a proper way of saying that. But I jump rope in the morning. I like doing that. It wakes me up, gets my blood flowing. But I feel like this needs to be a smooth surface. So I'm gonna get a mat, one of them big mats that go across, instead of a yoga mat. It's gonna be one of them mats that are like a puzzle that you piece together. I'm gonna get that sometime this week. Set that up. So I didn't want to be one of them people that focus on color. If you're looking for a computer and you're like, oh, do you have that in pink? I didn't want to be one of them people, but it seems like I'm gonna be one of them people, because I don't want to get anything that's outside of my color palette, which is pink, black. Hey, pink, black, and gray. Not this is a great example, but this is not what I'm talking about. Not my wardrobe. I want my wardrobe to be like a rainbow, but things that are gonna be placed around the house. I want the house to follow a specific color scheme, because when I first got her, no offense, it was like a bunch of like it was just a lot of colors: orange, brown, pink. You got orange mat in your room with pink curtains in your bathroom that don't really match the whole ambiance of the space. And it's a small space. It's not like, you know it's a studio apartment, and every room is attached to one another. It's not like a separate room for each room, so you can have different colors in each room. It's just all connected, and it just was messy. It just based off of aesthetics alone. So now I'm changing it up. I'm going with like the base of what was already in the house. So the colors of the walls, the couch, because I'm not replacing that and stuff. I'm not painting the walls. And the countertops. It's like a olive oak, a dark um, wood. It's a dark wood. The walls are white. The curtains, I could change the curtains, but the curtains are fine. The black and white. So I was just gonna go with black, white, and gray with a pop of color. So pink, black, white, and gray. And that would have been the color palette for the house. So all my exercise equipment is gonna be pink and black. Pink and black. Pink and black. Pink and black. That's it. Because I don't know, something about pink these days just makes me happy. Makes me happy. And if it's ugly, I might not be motivated. I might not be motivated to use it. I don't know. It just is what it is right now. So yeah, it's getting a bit dark. Getting a bit dark. So yeah, that is the last of Book of Lilith. Feel like I've done my part. You know, things are gonna be what they are, and I have no control over things that are outside of myself. So I'm gonna just focus on myself, focus on building myself, focus on building my brain, my body on this side of the pond, on this side of the world, and allow things to unfold on the earth as they will, without my interference. And I'm gonna end the Book of Lilith off there and start my new book, Book of Key. And these days, I'm focusing a lot on working out. I spend a lot of money on physical rehab, physio, chiro, going back and forth to the spa. I'm gonna get my blood sampled. I'm getting blood work done. Thinking about getting a myofascial treatment. You know, and going on a parasite cleanse. So that might be something I could take you with me. The parasite cleanse. I'm scared because I heard worms come out of you. I'm scared. So I'm preparing myself for that. Got myself a 37-ounce bottle. Mostly I'm going to fill that up with coconut water. Yeah, and then during the parasite cleanse, I'm going to get a lymphatic drainage. Might go to the Red Room. There's a holistic health center not far from here, but like 5 minutes away from here. And yeah, I'm just gonna focus on energy because my energy is depleted, and I'm doing a lot to really revitalize myself and bring myself back to life because I don't feel like myself those days. I feel tired. I feel better now. I don't feel as lethargic as before. But you know, pretty much micromanaging myself, micromanaging my diet, micromanaging my workout routine. Which I need to get back into. I had this excruciating pain in the back of my neck, and I just started going chiro because that needed to get worked out. And now I need to get back into working out, stretching, whatnot, and then get into strength training because I don't see it making any sense. It doesn't make any sense to me to go chiro and then not strengthen my body because that's where the issue is. My muscles are weak, my core is weak, and I need to build up my strength. So we're gonna get into that. You know, I also don't feel, I don't feel like myself. I feel down on myself because to me, I'm a natural born athlete. I love sports. I love being active, and I'm just been inactive and immobile. I mean, inactive in a way where I don't work out. I'm always working, but I'm never really taking care of myself. I'm never catering to myself in the way that I should be. That will optimize my my work ethic. That will optimize my my drive, will optimize my work as a whole. So right now, human capital over everything, because once you invest in yourself, heavily invest in yourself, everything will will fall into place. Your money will come smoothly because you have the energy, you have the strength, you have the wherewithal, you have the bandwidth in order to work longer hours or whatever the case may be, or you can think straight. Your thoughts aren't foggy. So really working on yourself and then heavily investing in yourself, whatever optimizes you as a whole, invest in that. Go 100% in on yourself. Now it's getting dark, and I really wanted to do this video outside. And the sun's getting down, so I'm gonna end it here, and we're gonna see where God takes us. And I'll see you another time.